My college football season ended. That's all I'm going to say. On Saturday afternoon, it's over. We'll hear from Mitch Sherman, theathletic.com, on the dead coach walking, and Scott Frost. Maybe that's a little bit harsh. He'll join us at 4:45, and then we'll clean them up for the rest of the year.
I mean, is it hard? That was pretty hard to watch if you're a Nebraska fan. I don't know what your sense of optimism was coming into the season. It really, took a hit when that NCAA report came out, and it's like, really? Like, we're already breaking rules? And then you see that, and you're like, so what were you working on that entire time? You know what I mean?
The NCAA dropped their investigation after watching them because obviously they weren't cheating.
They're like, go ahead and cheat some more because you guys need – I mean, I'm not trying to, bag too much, but, I mean, really, like, you took extra time, and then that's in the product you put out on the field, and – Martinez just hasn't gotten any better.
No.
He's been the same player for
4 years.
For 4 years now. And I remember when all the coaching carousel stuff was going on, and Scott Frost was rumored just as somebody threw him out there for the Baylor job. I think the second time around when Aranda got hired, maybe, or I don't remember at this point. But regardless, he got thrown out there at one point. I remember being like, he'd be great. Like, I thought he would be awesome. I thought he was really good at UCF. I thought he was going to be a great coach. But I, of course, wanted to see him go back to Nebraska, and he did. And I was happy, and I was excited about it. And Grayson, he never was that high on the hire for whatever reason. But I was, and I'll be the first to say I was totally wrong because I don't see him turning this thing around. I don't see the time there to turn it around.
You know what? Sometimes I think you can tell a coach deserves more time. Not because they're necessarily winning, but they're not losing stupidly.
Exactly.
Like, their players are playing, the right way. They're disciplined. They're doing this. They just need to get a couple of athletes. If they got a couple of athletes, you can see they'd be good. My comparison would be to, and I know this is maybe a little more large scale, but Jimbo Fisher at A&M. You saw the first year or so they were losing games that they probably shouldn't have lost, but they weren't losing them stupid. They weren't like, there wasn't stupid stuff going on. With Nebraska, they're still losing, and they're still losing the exact same way. It's not they're losing because they don't have, the two guys that Michigan has that make the difference. They're losing because they just play stupid football.
No, they're a dumb football team, and that is your head coach, and that is your staff, and that is also what happens when you're losing. You suck. And you make stupid mistakes. You catch a punt inside the 2 and go back in the end zone and then try to throw it out. And you fumble with 30 seconds to go and have. We've talked enough about them. Mitch Sherman will join us at 4:45. I know Tim, I think it's Tim, who's an Iowa fan. You had to love it. A lot of people did. They used to dominate college football for 4 decades. And my expectations were get to a bowl game. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't really now care. I do know this. I don't have to now plan. That doesn't mean I love them. I don't have to plan my weekends around when their kickoff time is. And a lot of my weekends are planned based on when Baylor's playing, our pregame show, and this weekend at 4 o'clock as we lead you up to the game against Texas Tech in San Marcos. So enough. I mean, it's just, they're awful. It's sad, and yet again, a lot of people should enjoy it because they hammered people. I don't know how Baylor fans, and I said this on the site, somebody asked me, this has been like 3 or 4 years. I know it's been longer than that, but on and off. How did you do that for 2 decades?
Oh, my gosh. Like, I can't even imagine, for fans that grew up Baylor fans, or if you grew up fans of just programs who have struggled for the majority.
The second year that Reedy was here until Art Browse's third year, Paul?
Or like, third or fourth year? Vanderbilt fans. I mean, like Derek Mason kind of got you excited for a second, a while back. But, basically you're the doormat of the SEC, which is fine because you're making all that money, and then really your thing is more of the academic side of it. But, yeah, for any team out there, just getting – you just know, like, a bowl game's a great year. Like, that's, like, a phenomenal year to even get to that point, whereas other teams, it's like, if you don't make it, that's like, oh, the coach is probably getting fired. And, I can't imagine what that would be like. And, Baylor fans know as well as anybody because they were certainly part of that for the longest time up until, mid-2000s, basically?
Yep.
And what really happens when it really starts to get sour is when – you cannot get the fans to care about anything.
Well, and that's Nebraska fans too. Like, I don't know what their level is. It sucks. The golden child's home, and you think like that's going to be the deal. And kind of like Florida State with Taggart. You got like the son's coming home, and sometimes it works out and it's great, and sometimes it doesn't. And I really do hate that it's not working out for Scott Frost in Nebraska. I really wish it would have.